Do I hear BradPolls?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Underwater FlyZone podcast. We're back in the studio today. We got myself, Foster Huggins. Introduce yourself, bro.
What's up, guys? It's BradPolls.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we gotta make that.
Do I hear BradPolls?
There we go. One more time.
Do I hear BradPolls?
Do I hear BradPolls? He's in the building. He's back.
What's up?
And we got a good one for you here today. This episode is dedicated to Suicide Awareness Month. It is September, and it is Suicide Awareness Month. So we're going to get into that here today. But before we get into that, me and BradPolls got some business to talk about. The new drop is coming live, everybody. It's going to be dropping literally when this episode drops on Sunday. So it's out now. If you're seeing this episode, you can get the Refuse to Be Enemies tee. It is out now. And these ones go crazy. Brad, you want to talk about these tees a little bit?
Yeah, bro. So a thing we did different about this drop from last, aka the summer drop, we got the puff print on the back on both shirts. We still got the same blank design with the neck, custom tag on the front.
Yes, sir. And then that new logo on the front goes crazy. If you've seen the Instagram, we changed our profile pic to it, but yeah, shout out to our homie that designed it. It was, it's a good one.
The shirt's crazy overall. I love it.
Yes, and the colorways, bro. We've been wanting this forest green blank forever, and we finally.
I think we've been trying to find like the perfect time to drop it because I feel like it's more of a folly color. You know what I mean?
For sure. And this colorway right here, the cream with the little faded black is that's probably my favorite shirt we've made. To be honest,
you just can't go wrong, bro. It doesn't matter what time it is.
Literally, bro. I walked into Street Warehouse and I saw the green because the green was finished, and I was like, bro, how is that our brand? Like,
right.
I am so proud of this shirt. Like, I put it on. I put the green shirt on. I was like, this is the coolest shirt we ever made. And then the creams got done. And I was like, bro, what? How is this our brand, dude?
Like, so I thought the creams were white at first because on camera that's how they appear. But when I went to the flea market thing, I was like, no, bro, those are so tough. Because I thought these were black too, but it's more of like a brownish color. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a faded. It's like a vintage black. Honestly.
Yeah, the back's more like the brownish. You know what I mean?
But they came out so nice. Get yours today. They are $30. We had to up the price a little bit because of that puff print on the back. But bro, you ain't going to find a shirt with this quality for $30. I mean, go to Shields. You're going to get an $80 t-shirt out there. So, yeah, support the brand. We're pushing out a good message. Refuse to be enemies. We are coming in with the unifying message of refuse to be enemies. And let's read the bottom quote. I trust your reading skills better than mine, so you take that.
Alrighty. Our world needs us to come together and love each other now more than ever. Now, no matter our differences, we refuse to be enemies. In a world full of hate, we choose love. Underwater FlyZone Brand.
You already know, Underwater FlyZone Brand. Yes, sir. But yeah, dude, I can't read. I can't read like that for real. I'm a teacher, but yeah, I don't do all that reading stuff. We PE. But anyways, speaking of that, I typed that message while as a class was about to come in. I was like, hold up.
That's how you do it.
All right, come on. Yeah, literally. Dude, so yeah, get your tea today. Yeah. They are almost sold out, by the way. We're only doing 100, and we had 2 pop-ups this past weekend. And let me just tell you, they did go crazy. We had on Friday night at the River Market. Oh my goodness, what a night! A
lot of people, good environment.
Yes.
There was a lot of clothes there too.
There was. It was all vintage sellers, and we were right at the end, or depending on how you came in, we could have been right at the beginning.
Yeah, we were at the beginning.
For some people, we were at the beginning, some people were at the end, but regardless, there were so many people at our table, and I just want to shout out my boy Michael Thomas. Thank you, bro. On Thursday night, he hit me up, and he was like, hey, bro, you need any help tomorrow? And I was like, dude, I'm probably good, but if you want to come, you can.
Right.
He pulled up. He got there before I did.
Caddy J.
Yeah, hold up. Before I continue, we got the boy Jack Fields. He's also a guest today. Say what's up, Jack.
What's up, guys?
Yes, sir. Pulling in here late. You already know. But yeah, shout out my boy Michael Thomas. He got to the River Market before I did. He saved us a spot. He saved us a parking spot right by our spot. Like, it was just the perfect environment. Without you, bro, that would not have been as big of a success as it was. So shout out Michael Thomas, and shout out to everybody that pulled up. Met so many great people, and that was just a really really fulfilling night for me. And Brad, go check out his video. It went crazy
Yeah,
too.
it was pretty good.
One of the shorter ones, but
Hey, you know, we'll get the next one, bro.
yes,
we'll
sir.
Get the next
Yes,
one.
sir. But no, it went crazy. And then so we left that Friday night from the River Market, went up to Maryville, and on Saturday in Maryville, again, this is why we're running low on these shirts, because we sold so many. Shout out to everyone in Maryville. It was our own little personal homecoming, Underwater FlyZone Homecoming 2023. You already know. Went up there, sold so many shirts, and I want to give another shout out. One of my students, when I went to and taught at West Nottoway last semester, so like 6 months ago, one of the seniors pulled up early. He said, I got $100 in my pocket, and I'm spending it all right now. Give me what you can. He ended up spending $150, walked away with like 8 shirts, and he was like, bro, I don't have anything to do till like 1 o'clock. Can I like hang out and help you? You need any help? I was like, sure, bro. There was a moment that I had left the table because I was helping Zane with Source Collections. I was helping him sell. And I looked over, and there was a line at my table, and Ethan, my boy Ethan Rohr, shout out to you, bro. He's there dealing shirts.
That's crazy.
Yes, bro. Oh, my goodness. Such a blessing that we have people like that are down to just be along for the ride.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, great weekend. But once again, we're running low. So, when this thing drops, which is out now, go get yours before it's gone. There's no restock on these. Anyways, Jack, he pulled up late. How you doing, bro?
Pretty good. How are you?
We're-
Let me fix this.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
can fix
this
that
tall.
real quick.
You gotta
You're
bring it
right.
down a little bit.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
move it up a
BradPolls.
little
Thank
bit.
you.
There you go. There you go. Well, you was eating some Mexican out in Independence?
Yeah, it was okay, but
You're not
La
gonna plug
Fuente is a
them?
lot better.
Oh,
Our home's
yeah.
a lot better.
Shout out La Fuente. You already know. But BradPolls has to leave in like 5 minutes.
Hey,
So.
you know, we're just trading in and out.
Yeah,
bro.
it's an interesting episode here today. But again, before we get into the Suicide Awareness Month talk, Brad, can you give us a little update on what the rest of the year is looking like for the Underwater FlyZone brand on the brand side of things?
For sure. So 2023, we're ending with a bang. Next drop, we're thinking sweatshirts.
Yes, sir.
You know,
The
we
hoodie
got
drop.
Hoodies coming. That'll be fire. And then for the top it all off, we're gonna drop a Crewneck limited edition.
Very limited. It's going to be a very special drop. So, yeah, we got the hoodie drop coming up. That'll be literally coming here very soon. So, be looking out for that. But the big plan, my big brains behind what we're going to end the year off with is that Crewneck drop. Do you feel confident enough to tell the plan behind that?
I think you
know-
got the better inside scoop, but
Okay.
you know, I'll
Give a
kinda,
little overview.
I'll kind of give an overview. So we're only dropping 50 pieces of this select item thing.
Yeah, basically with the flicks.
But yeah,
Anyways.
the only time you can get this is at the pop-up at the end of the year for
Yep.
Underwater FlyZone.
Yeah, we're doing our
at
another
El
event.
Dorado.
Yep, El Dorado. June. I think it's not June. December. Not June at all. December 8th is the date we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna order 50-ish Crewnecks. They're gonna be limited, and we're gonna sell them there. And we're gonna take all the profit money, and we're gonna put it into being Santa for some families. We're gonna buy some families that come from a lower income background. We're gonna buy families Christmas presents for their kids. I basically want to find some families to be like, hey, give me your Christmas list. I'll go buy it and bring it back. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids won't even know.
All right.
So I would love for that plan to execute, and we're gonna make it happen. So big things coming. It's been a good year, bro.
Yeah.
It's been a good
I
year.
think it's been the best.
I would agree. I would agree. What's been a highlight for you involving the brand? Because you know we've had the pop-ups, we've had the photo shoots, we've had just being down here, me and you listening to music,
Right.
folding shirts. Like what's been your best memory so far from 2023? Knowing that we still have better things coming.
Right. I mean, honestly, I love the process of this. Just like, you know, I think it'd have to be summer drop.
Mm-hmm.
Summer drop was probably like the hardest, like creatively wise, and like it was just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got to incorporate my brand as itself into this. You know, I started to make videos for this. You know, but overall, probably my favorite memory was probably the summer shoot on the boat. That was my
fire.
favorite. It was just good vibes all around.
And it was great that we drove out to New Vintage Thrifts
Yeah.
first and then
Yeah.
came back for the lake.
It was just a crazy day overall.
It
Hella
was.
content, but
I want to
yeah.
ask you too before you dip out of here because
Yeah.
you only got 2 more minutes. Have you been thinking about taking BradPolls to a new level, like doing a BradPolls brand I don't know. I've been thinking about this. I'm like, bro, people love BradPolls. It's a saying around, at least around here locally, the people
Right.
we hang out with. It's like, yo, do I hear BradPolls? You know, like
Do I hear BradPolls?
it's a thing, bro. It's a staple. Do you feel like you can take it to a next level? Because I feel like you could.
I feel like creatively I can. I think I'm trying to certain down to a niche. You know what I mean? Because I feel like my content's kind of all over the place. But maybe that is the way I go with, and I just film the stuff that I love doing. Honestly, I would love to do like a little clothing line for BradPolls. I feel like it makes something simple.
I
and
would love to
clean,
see it. And you know how it works now.
Yeah,
Like-
I got the whole inside scoop. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's possible. It's definitely possible.
Bro,
but
for real.
we'll
for
see
real.
what next year has.
Yes, sir. All right, last thing. You got 1 minute. I just want to hear, before you leave, then me and Jack will get into it, but before you leave, how has suicide impacted your life personally in a little, like, shortened version? You know what I'm saying?
I would say that it was. I wouldn't say it's a bad or a good thing. I would say it shaped me to who I am today. You know,
Yeah.
as long as all the other things in my life, I feel like it's one of those moments where you realize, like, you know what I mean. You take for granted what you actually have.
Yeah,
You know what I mean.
100%.
Once it's gone, you don't actually realize that it's gone.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's an important lesson for everybody to learn.
So it's
Yeah.
like, what you mean is, like, the situation itself is horrible, but the way you've been able to grow from it has been.
Personally, I feel like it's just helped me grow as a person. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And now that I have that experience, I can help others to prevent this. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But-
Well, anyways,
All right, boys. It's been a pleasure.
nice seeing you, bro.
Hey, it's good to see you, Jack.
Oh
Good to
yeah,
see you
hey,
too,
let's get a
BradPolls.
thumbnail pic real quick, like a, you already know. One more. All right, fire.
All right, yo.
Macy, do you want to hop in here, or are you good?
I don't care.
All right, hey,
getting on
peace
that?
out, bro.
What? Oh yeah, we getting on? All right, bet.
Hey, Connor, will you grab me a water real quick, just right out in that fridge?
No, I'm straight. Appreciate it though.
Thank you, bro.
What do you want me to do?
Get in here. Why not? Yeah, that'll be
mean,
cool.
Look, the seat needs someone to be sat on.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
All right, hey y'all, I promise we're about to get in this episode. Thanks, bro.
All right, y'all. You gotta go.
You too, man.
I hope
Bye,
so.
Connor.
Peace out.
Do
I hope
look
you
bad?
guys didn't want to water, cause my bad.
I'm okay.
Mm.
Okay, so this I have the broken chair.
No, the broken chair's in the trash.
Oh,
That might be a new broken chair.
okay, good. Yeah.
All right, hey Jack, how you been though, for real?
I've been good. How you been?
Dude, I've been good too. And I want to say this too. I've had some people that watch the podcast be like, bro, so you hate teaching? Because I started talking like
Yeah,
down on
it
it.
kind of did seem like
It
you didn't
did.
like
It
in a
definitely
way.
did. And I just want to say this. It was rough, but no. I don't hate I love teaching itself. It was a tough start. Let's just call it that. But the last week or two has been good.
That's
like, I'm
good.
starting to enjoy it, bro. Finally. And it's not like anything's changed, though. The only things that has changed is my mindset going into it. Because now every day when I wake up, I pray every day. I'm like, God, please be with me today. Work through me today. Like, just stay with me all day because I'm going to need you, bro. and he's been there for me. And it's been, that shift has been good. And also, at the end of the day, I have taken accountability for it being bad. Like, I'm like, okay, why did that class suck today? Why was that kid being a jerk today? Mm-hmm. I take it all on myself. I blame myself for all of it because if I was to sit back and be like, oh, that class did horrible, it's just because they don't know how to listen. It's just because they're dumb or just whatever. That's me putting the blame on them, and that's taking the control out of my hands. So what I've said is, why is that class being bad today? It's because of me. It's because I'm not being stern. I'm not, explaining it well enough. I need to learn different ways to explain. I take everything as my fault. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's allowed me to really benefit. You guys sneeze?
Not anymore. I did have to.
But yeah, I think that's a whole thing about life too. I feel like the more you could take accountability for everything in your life, the more you could say, that's my fault. How can I do better to make that situation better? I think that's a big thing in general. So, and that's also what we'll even kind of talk about today. But Macy, how you been?
I've been really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
What you been doing though?
Okay, so I got my wedding dress.
There you go.
And we are looking at just stuff for the wedding
Mm-hmm.
to kind of finalize and stuff. And I subbed today in 2nd grade, and I really love the little kids.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
I love it. I love teaching.
You're made for that. That's the thing. That's my other question. Am I made for this? You, though? No question. No question. You're made for it.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. But Jack, are you ready for this, bro?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready, baby. All right. So, obviously, if you're new to the podcast, you might have joined and subscribed because you were more into it for the Christianity we've been talking about or the relationship advice we've been talking about. But going back to why we started this podcast is a motivational / mental health podcast. And specifically, suicide has really impacted me and Jack's life for sure. And Macy, now that she's like marrying me, I guess you could say it's impacted you as well. I mean, you've had to deal with.
In a different way.
Yeah,
and I'll
for
talk
sure.
about that later.
For sure. I think that'll be cool to talk about, actually.
Because I want to talk about from my point of view, like
Exactly,
being
yeah.
somebody that hasn't gone through. I'm thankful that I haven't gone through anything like that. But I want to be ask you questions about like, okay, how do I help you guys? You know, what should I
Exactly.
say? What shouldn't I say?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you guys need?
Yeah.
And I'll ask the questions that people might be kind of wanting to know.
For
something.
sure. I hope I got the answers, you know what I'm saying? But no, so I think the big question I want to ask to all of us, I want all of us to answer today is, how has suicide impacted your life? And I think that talking about that is very important because just like when we talked about saving till marriage, there's a lot of people out there that have been impacted by suicide, but they feel like it's just them, you know? And I feel like that's how we kind of felt. It's like, wow, we're the only ones going through this. But if you look at the suicide rates, it's happening many times
Per second.
per hour. There's like an insane amount of suicides in the world. So it's not just you, and it's something that needs to be talked about. And especially, you know, we've been through it, and we're going to get into that. I want Jack to go first, though, if you're ready, bro.
So you want me to explain first how
I wanna
my
say-
Kyle story or like how
let-
suicide has affected me?
How has it impacted you? You could explain it through telling the Kyle story.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
Take it away.
I'll tell a little bit of the Kyle story
All right.
since that's where you're going at first.
yeah.
So the day that Kyle died, I was in 6th grade, and I remember Foster texting our group chat for wiffle ball at the time, which is like everyone that played in wiffle ball group chat was
Yeah.
in this group chat. And he texted something about Kyle. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was just like out of nowhere. School just ended, so I was like, oh, he has to be joking or something. And then I started going through Snapchat stories, and I see, rest in peace, brother, fly high, you will be missed, and all this. And I'm like, hold up. Is this actually real?
Yeah.
And then my friend on the other side of the bus, Zayden, I showed him, and then like the moment we realized it was actually true, I just felt my heart just drop all the way down my body. I'm just tears going through my face, just dropping all over the bus floor. I'm just in tears. It was crazy. I remember as my bus stop happened, I get off the bus, sprint straight to my home, and just cry myself to sleep. And yeah, that was basically how I found out. It was a rough day, a lot of crying, but suicide has impacted me in many
Yeah.
ways. And the biggest way was like how I said in the first podcast I was in, the only one. Like when I was little, I was more like kind of like a bully. I would always be rude and more judgmental to people. But after I went through that, I realized that's not the person I want to be, and I'd rather be someone that's more positive, someone that brings light to someone's day, someone that would make someone smile, or just have someone have someone have a great day just by seeing me. Like I just want to be that person that makes people happy instead of making them like feel bad about themselves or be bad like mad or I don't know.
Yeah,
Like-
no, I get what you're saying, though, bro.
Yeah, it's impacted me to just be like a better person overall and be more nice to people and be more respectful instead of like being rude.
Yeah, and because you saw how real it can get,
Yeah.
you know?
And like it can affect you really bad and it make you really depressed too. So like I don't want to see people go through that either because I know it's a very hard part of life and it's just hard to see people go through that because I've seen some of my family go through it and it's just hard seeing them go through it.
For sure. And if anybody's new to this and they might not know it's that well, Kyle was literally our brother. Like, I've talked about it. Me and Carson, my real brother, we called him our third brother. Like, we were that tight with him. And then Jack, right before Kyle passed away, Jack was starting to get really tight with us too. Mainly because our wiffle ball team.
Yeah.
But our wiffle ball team, y'all might not understand, that was our family, bro.
It
Like,
was.
that was everything to us. So, and then right as all that was happening, Kyle, commits suicide. One of our we called him a brother, and no one saw it coming. And
Out of the blue.
literally. And how would you say that? Yeah, what did it put you through?
It put me through a really rough time. Like, at the time, I was so young. I was in 6th grade. I didn't know what suicide was until that happened. So, like, I've never really been, like, sad or depressed in life. So, like, it was just something really new to me. I didn't know how to, like, control it. I didn't know what to do. So, for, like, the next, like, year to 2, I was just in a very deep place where I was just sad all the time, just always thinking about him. And it was very tough since I was at a very young age. It was hard to deal with.
Dude, we were all way too young to
Yeah,
be. I was the oldest one, and I was 16.
That's
The
still way
youngest
too
one was
young.
like 7 or 8. Like, in this group chat, our wiffle ball group chat, I think me and Carson had texted, and we were like, guys, just so you know, like, this happened, because everyone was going to find out eventually, and we wanted it to be from us, and we texted in the group chat, like, what happened? Everyone started flipping out, like, oh, this can't be real. And honestly, like, for a long time, we thought it couldn't be real. But yeah, dude, it's just crazy how young we were. And man, it was a different journey for all of us. Cause me, I was 16. Carson, he was 14. You were like 11.
Yeah, around that age.
Like, bro, it was a really, really unique experience, and it was in the worst way. But I want you to talk about something that we've talked about before. So, Kyle commits suicide, and following that, you had did you and I both have talked, like, we felt like it wasn't real. We felt like he was on an island and he would come back to us in our dreams. I want you to tell that story.
Yeah, I honestly thought, like, it was like one of them, like, Tupac stories where he's just chilling in Cuba right now, on the beach or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. But I remember this happened a lot to me. It was the same dream, like, same exact step by step, where me, Foster, and Carson were just riding bikes in Raintree on the way to Kyle's dad's house on the other side of Raintree. And we get to his house, we ring the doorbell, and, like, obviously at the time we know, like, he's already passed away and stuff, but it's a dream. And the person opens the door, is just Kyle's just standing right there, and then we just give him the biggest hug and cry. And the crazy thing is, I've had that dream multiple times. Like, nothing's been different. We've been wearing the same outfits. It's been a sunny day, blue sky, clouds, birds in the sky. It's definitely been something crazy, because I haven't had that dream for a while, but at the time I was having it a lot when it first happened. So maybe just think that he's still with us. Like, he's definitely still here. This is fake. It's not true.
Mm-hmm.
It just had my mind just really confused at the time.
Yeah, bro. I feel like it was so hard for us to accept that it was real. Mm-hmm. First of all, because we didn't fully understand what death was. Again, we were so young. I was the same way. I didn't know what suicide was until Kyle committed suicide. That's when I learned about what it actually was. That's when I knew, like, what it was. I didn't know that stuff happened. It was such a random, out of left field, never would have guessed thing. And we always thought, like, oh, no, he'll be back. He's on vacation. This is all some big joke. This is all a big dream. And that was the hardest part for me, at least, was acceptance. And the X song, Jocelyn Flores says, I be feeling pain just to hold on. That was me, bro. I was feeling pain. I would literally put myself through pain because I'd rather feel pain than accept the fact that he was gone. And at some point, I just realized, like, and it was actually, I'll tell you when I accepted he was gone. I accepted that Kyle was gone 2 days before the 1-year anniversary of his passing. Another kid in our local area that was very well known, very positive, really cool kid, out of nowhere commits suicide as well. And I didn't know that kid, but I knew his cousins. And that's when I was like, okay, Kyle's gone. Now another kid's gone, and I have to go to his cousins and try to help them through this, because I know what they're going through right now. And I went to those cousins, and I did help them through it. And that's when I realized, like, dude, I've been sitting here denying the truth, when in reality, I need to accept that this happened, and I need to take my story and do some good with it. So that kind of has led to us making this whole brand, to be honest. And here we are, just continuing trying to turn a horrible situation into something positive, But yeah, bro, definitely a crazy situation we had to deal with.
Definitely.
And honestly, I think I'll go next about how has suicide impacted my life. I'll tell my story a little bit with Kyle. So, like I said, Kyle was my best friend growing up, especially towards 2015, 16, whenever we started the wiffle ball league. Was with him every single day, and I was with him on April 22nd, 2017, the night before he passed away. And maybe you guys have heard this story a lot. I know you two have. But on April 22nd, he came over. We had a normal night, just had a great time, went fishing, played baseball, did everything we normally did, and we had a great night, like we always did. The next day, we were supposed to hang out, and we didn't. And then the next day at school, I'm sitting there in my English class, and my aunt, who worked in the front office, came down, pulled me out of class. She told me that she loved me, and she hugged me, and I knew something was off. I go out, and my parents are outside. They told me that Kyle had killed himself the night before. So the day we were supposed to hang out, that night, he committed suicide. And I was with him the day before he died, so it was such a random and it was almost like, why are y'all lying to me? Like, this is not true. And I even, like I said, I did not accept that it was true for so long. And I just remember in that moment, the person who I was walking out of that school, that was his last steps, because he died right there. When they said Kyle killed himself, that version of me died. And a new version of me was born. It was a very depressed, very broken, confused version. And yeah, the impact that suicide has on everyone and everything is unexplainable and unimaginable, bro. Like, it completely changed my life. Kyle doing that completely has changed everything about my life. And granted, it was a horrible situation, and I have done my best to turn it into a positive. Like, I don't think this brand would be here without that. I don't think this podcast would be a thing without that. I don't know what I would be doing or who I would be without that. But yeah, you can't explain, and you can't even imagine how impactful suicide is. So that anybody out there that is struggling with suicidal thoughts and maybe even considering doing that, I just got to tell you, you have no clue how many people care about you. And what I really want to tell you is reach out to somebody. Like, this is Suicide Awareness Month. That's my biggest thing I want to tell you guys is reach out to somebody. Tell people how you're feeling. What you compress, what you don't tell, what you compress, you suppress. And when you suppress it, it's going to sit within you and it's going to destroy your life. So you need to express what you're saying. Talk to people. Get it out. You have to get it out, because if you don't get it out, it's going to sit within you and it's going to lead to bigger problems in your future. And man, I would give anything for Kyle to have reached out to me or to you or to any of us instead of doing what he did. Like, I would give anything for him to have reached out and been like, bro, I'm going through it right now. I need you. Man, I wish he would have did that, because he didn't do that. And he made a decision that has changed all of our lives forever. And yeah, bro, I just really want to say that. And I don't know what else I could say right now, but Jack, what were you thinking as I was talking? Was anything coming to your head that you wanted to say? Because I was just kind of rambling. Or you, Macy.
Basically that Kyle's death really just did come out of nowhere. He didn't express anything to anyone. He didn't talk to anyone. Like, the closest thing he came to saying to me was one night when we were texting was that he asked me who do I think the MVP was going to be of wiffle ball that year, and I said, you for sure, because like you're finally hitting, you're in the field, you're the best pitcher by far. And he was like, and he texted back and said, I will never be good enough to be that. And you said it's either going to be Foster or Zach. But I was just so young at the time, I couldn't comprehend what he was trying to tell to me. But yeah, if he was able to express it a little bit more, I feel like we would been able to help him. Well, for sure, you would have been able to help him.
But we were so young and we were so unaware that mental health was such a big deal. Like, we didn't think. You don't think that him saying he's not going to be MVP of wiffle ball had anything deeper, and maybe it didn't, but like it could have. It could have. And gosh, I wish he would have expressed that though.
Like, exactly. Like, the time we were just little. We're just little kids having fun every day, running around the neighborhood, finding a new sport to play every day, basically.
And the thing is, I've heard so many people say, and I think so many people assume that we saw it coming. Like, they think, they had to have seen. No, never in a million years did we see it coming. You could have, when I was walking out of the school before my parents told me, you could have let me guess a million different things before I would have guessed that they were going to tell me that Kyle had committed suicide. Never in a million years would I have guessed that that's what they're going to tell me. We did not see it coming at all. And it was such a blindside, and I think that's one thing that hurts so much about suicide because it's a different type of grief. It's like, first of all, you got to grieve that you don't get to hang out with them every day.
Yeah, you don't see them anymore.
Yeah, and then you got to grieve, like, why did they do that? And then you got to ask, why didn't they hit me up when they were feeling so low? Like, am I not a good friend? Like, so much extra layers to the grief. And one thing that I've come to realize is, again, back to the whole, even like what I was talking about earlier with teaching, accepting everything is your fault is it allows you to take control of the situation. I accepted that, you know what, I could have been a better friend. Regardless of what happened or what could have happened and what didn't happen, I'm not blaming myself. I'm not being hard on myself for not being a better friend. But I understand that moving forward, I have to check on my people. I have to be aware of the signs. I have to be better. Straight up, I got to be better. You can't just sit back and be like, oh, I can't blame myself because I never would have known. Well, or you can look at it and be like, I am going to blame myself. I'm going to take in my wrongs and I'm going to make it right moving forward. And you can't change what happened, but we could change today. And what are you thinking, Macy?
That I want to hear more.
You want to hear how has this all impacted you, being around all of us and being my fiance?
Okay, so yeah, we didn't know anything about suicide until like high school. I feel like being depressed or like having anxiety, it was just that. You know, like there's nothing that said like mental health awareness and all that. Yeah. Until those two passings. And so I feel like it really kind of made a lot of people question themselves and think like, am I okay? You know, and I feel like it kind of doesn't, it has a bad rap about like it, because I don't know, I feel like I can, whenever I get anxious or like down, I'm like thinking it's just crazy how easy, you know, committing suicide is. Yeah. And just how real it is. It just really makes you rethink everything about life. And I thankfully haven't gone through anything with anyone super close to me. I mean, Lance, but it has been like years since we've ever like really hung out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that time was it was a lot with like the Houstons, you know, just with my family. I still remember the day whenever I found out about him, and it was crazy because I was with my parents and my grandma, and we were all like, why would the boys say that? Like, that is horrible, because we thought it was like a sick joke that everyone was making up, like his friend group. And then that's when Julie, which is, you know, their mom, texted my mom and said like she was crying and that it was real and all that stuff. And I was like, what? I didn't even cry because I was literally in shock. That was the first time I've known anybody that had done anything like that before. And I couldn't cry or come to realization, even though I wasn't even that close to him. His cousins, obviously. But it just makes me wonder, like, how you guys have gone through it. And I even asked a question in your response because I was just genuinely curious, like, how would an outsider be able to help somebody that's going through it? And I've never gone through it. Like, I just feel like it's just different. I don't have the words, I feel like, to say anything that would make you feel better.
I'll be brutally honest. You can't. Like, straight up, like, if you haven't gone through it, you will probably not be able to help me in any way besides being someone to listen to. I would say you can help. And you
support,
Yeah, literally. You can help by listening and loving. But don't be the person trying to, oh, yeah, that happened, but, oh, yeah, I've been through this. No, nothing compares. I'm not saying it's the worst thing that you can possibly experience as a human. I'm not saying like anything like that, but nothing compares. Nothing's like it. Like, if you lose someone you love to suicide, there's nothing like that. So if you haven't been through it, the best thing you can do is let them talk, listen, feel with them and just be like, I love you. Like, I don't know what to say. I love you. And just let them express it. Because like I said, you got to express. You can't compress. You got to express these emotions for them to get out of you. And Jack, what would you say to that?
Yeah, 100% agree with that. Is that if you are feeling down, don't be scared to reach out to someone. Like, you're not a weak person asking someone, like, if you're not weak texting someone and telling them you have problems and talking to them about it. You're not weak at all for that.
No.
You're actually 100% stronger. And yeah, if you are going through something, don't be scared to express it. Just make sure you don't compress it, because if you do compress it, it will get worse over time and it will not get better. I promise you that. So if you are feeling down, just make sure to reach out to someone that you love or trust, and I promise you it will get better and it will help.
Exactly, bro. And what's crazy, too, that I think about is the times in your past that you have compressed are still in you, bro.
Yeah.
Like the time, I've talked about this before, but before my basketball tryouts in 8th grade, this kid was like, I thought we were cool, but he was like talking crap on me. And like, I didn't realize this until I did some like self-reflection, but that had such an impact on me because he was basically being such a jerk to me, hurting my confidence so bad. And I feel like that's the reason I was so quiet throughout high school, literally stemmed from that one situation, because it happened and it really hurt and I never talked about it. And it just sat so deep within me for so long. And then once I talked about it, I was good. But like, look back at your past, the things that you have compressed, go back and express those, because literally if something bad happens to you today and it deeply affects you and you don't ever express it, it is never going to leave. And when you're 35 and you're wondering why you have anger issues, it's because of whatever's happening right now, bro. It's really interesting to think about. It's called shadow work. You should, if you haven't heard about it, you should check it out. We could talk about that more later, but how are we already 36 minutes into this is my question. But, yeah, so for sure though, that's such an interesting thing to talk about though. Like, because I feel bad because everyone wants to help. And I remember Morgan would be really good to talk about this with, because Morgan told me, she said, there has been hundreds of people the day that Lance died. She was like, there's been hundreds of people messaging me today, but none of them have helped me. But your message has actually changed my life today. And I was like, yeah, because I know what you're going through. Like I've been there. All I said was everything about how I felt in that moment. And all we want in that moment is to feel someone that we can relate with. So that's the big thing. Like, yes, you can totally help by listening, loving, but you're not going to be able to like really provide an experience that can relate with. And I really don't recommend you try, because that's just going to make it even worse, bro. That happened to me so many times. Bro, I would be like, dude, I'm feeling down. Like, I went through this, and they'd be like, oh, it's okay. My dog died back in 2nd grade. I'm like, yeah, my best friend just, it's like, come on. I don't know. Let's move on from that before I keep going down the loophole. Do we want to get in these questions though?
Yeah, you guys should.
I
don't have any advice.
The first one is, thank you guys for doing this. You're welcome. How to notice someone who is dealing with suicidal thoughts. It's really tough.
It's different for everyone.
Yeah, it really is. And also, at the end of the day, it's always, to me, what I've noticed, because after Kyle died, I have known many people who have committed suicide. Like one of my guys that I worked with, someone at school I knew. It's just a lot. I've seen it a lot. And it's always the person that you would least expect, bro. And it's so crazy that that's how it is. Would you guys agree?
I agree with that. And also, I feel like one way to look at it, because it is different for everyone, but like if you just see them like slowly change to a different person, not like over like a long period of time, but like in a few weeks or like a month or two, then you should kind of see if something's wrong with them. Because if they start changing their ways, then something is most likely wrong with them. But it's kind of hard to like see actually see what like if someone's going through something or not.
For sure. I'll open up real quick. I'll tell you this. I've dealt with a lot of suicidal thoughts after this happened, and even we can get into that later, but I've dealt with a lot of suicidal thoughts after this happened, and every time that it'd really get bad, I would start losing interest in the things I love. Like, I'd be like, do I really need to edit? Back then, I was obsessed with the wiffle ball league and all that. I'd be like, do I really need to edit this video? Like, I don't even want to do this anymore. That's when I'd realize, like, oh, I'm actually down bad right now. I need to get over it. Like, I would get over that real quick, because once you start losing interest in the things that you love, that's a huge sign. It's a huge sign that, first of all, you're getting on a suicidal path. Second of all, if you see anybody else, I thought you loved basketball. You say you want to quit basketball. You always play. That's your whole life. You just randomly want to quit. That's a big sign. Or if Macy just one day was like, I don't want to go to church anymore, I'd be like, okay, we need to talk, because that isn't all that type of stuff. Like, if it's one of their big things they love to do and then they out of nowhere stop wanting to do it, that's a big sign that I've noticed.
That
for
is.
sure.
Now you got my brain working a little bit. I got another one now. It's like, if you know someone that's like always like energetic and always like ready to go do something, kind of like never wants to lay in bed or just like have a chill day, and then you start realizing they're laying in bed a lot more, just won't get out of bed, they're not taking care of themselves, like their hygiene's going down. I feel like that's another sign too, because I realized that was someone, and I was right, and it kind of was like that me for a little bit. Like, I was getting lazy, but yeah, that's another sign, I feel like.
Yeah, that's so true, bro. And also, Robert Williams, was that his name? Really, really big celebrity, really positive
Yeah, I'm
actor,
pretty sure.
and he committed suicide. And he was like the positive dude in the room. I think that's another thing. That's where it gets tricky, because it's like, on one hand, you got the person that loses interest and is energetic, and then out of nowhere they're not. But it's also sometimes the person that is the positive energy.
Person always smiling.
Yes, it's the person that's always smiling, because they're always smiling because they're hurting on the inside and they don't want anyone else to feel what they feel. So that's why they're being so positive and happy. That's another sign that they could be on some suicidal stuff, and you might want to, really sit down and talk with them, bro.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, too, I feel like a lot of times we see people on Snapchat or Instagram post some really, like, out of left field, really, like, deep thing, and you're kind of like, man, a lot of us, man, they're just looking for attention, man. Bro, not always. Sometimes you might want to, I'm not going to say that never happens, because we know that does happen, and that's unfortunate, because it takes away from the serious times. But a lot of the times, bro, I've done it a million times on Snap. I'll see someone type something really, just, you could tell they're really trying to express to people that I'm hurting, I need somebody. Swipe up, I'll talk to them, and it turns out they were down bad. They were dealing with some stuff. So if they're literally crying out for help, be that help, bro. Like, straight up. But that was good, Jack, for real. Let's get into this. Person asked a lot of questions. How to help someone who is dealing with suicide. I think we kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that too, so don't worry. What to say to someone who lost someone to suicide? I'll just say real quick. Just show them you love them, bro.
Yeah.
Just bring them ice cream or something. Like, just keep it that simple, because if you've never been through it, like I said, it's gonna be tough. It's going to be tough. But Macy, you've actually helped me a lot, and you've never really been through it. So what would you say to me if I came to you and I was like, Macy, like, I really miss Kyle. Like, it's bad right now. What would you say? Because you've helped me a lot.
And I think that the reason I helped you a lot is because that, like, emotional connection is there. You know?
That's
also,
true.
I feel like I just help you in a different way than I would ever help anyone else, because the love that you have with, your spouse, or like your person, is going to be different than the way that I would help Jack.
Well, also,
Like, I wouldn't do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I don't know. I'm a very good listener. I will say that. Like, I'm going to not take pride in that, but I just love, I'm such a nurturer. Like, I really love when people talk to me about all of their stuff, and I'm not one to have advice or keep talking and stuff. I'm always one to listen, and I think that that's what you like a lot, is because you can just release it, and I don't say any kind of opinions or anything. I'll just let you talk, and then
for sure.
I just don't know. I hug you.
Yeah, but the fact that you listen, and as I'm talking, you're like validating, like, yeah, that's horrible. Like, I understand why you feel that way. And then after I'm done letting it out, you don't throw me some opinion or some step. You just say, I love you, and you just hug me, and it's fine. Like, when I'm expressing it and then someone tries to like make me feel like they understand what I'm going through, that's when it hurts. It makes me hurt even more. I want to express it, and you never make me feel like, oh yeah, I understand. You're always like, that's horrible, and let's, I love you, let's go do something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so just don't try to give it, like, I wouldn't say, don't try to relate, because that's when it hurts, not gonna lie. Just being honest, like, sorry if that's not what you wanted to hear. I stand on the truth, always.
Don't you think though, Jack? Do you think that would be like good advice?
Yeah.
Or like if you were to talk to me about, which we don't really like talk about that like deep stuff like that.
Yeah, we really don't. But I agree with Macy.
We're more joking.
Yeah, I feel like the best way is just be there for them. Like Foster said, don't relate. Macy does a great job. You already can tell, and just basically be like Macy. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, literally. Just be genuine too.
Yeah.
Like, and don't try to fix it. You can't. So just.
There's been so many times with Foster, like, whenever it'd be, like late at night and people getting their feels and stuff, like Foster would pour his heart out to me, and then I'd say, I don't have any words, Foster. Like, but I'd say in a more sincere way. I just say, I don't know what to say, but I love you. And
I'd be like, you said enough. Thank you. Like, that's it, bro. You don't have to say anything. Like, you don't really have. Yeah. Good
just
stuff.
Be there for them.
That's a great way to answer that question, I feel like. Morgan Houston, shout out Morgan Houston, asks, what's the best way to combat unsettling emotions that seem like they won't go away? Like we were saying, you got to express. You got to express, bro. You got to find solid people around you that you know you can go to, and they will genuinely care, genuinely be there for you. It's really tough expressing your emotions to people that you're not comfortable with. Because, first of all, expressing your emotions in general is already a tough thing to do. Like, it already feels very uncomfortable. Then if you're doing it to somebody and then they take that and, like, tell somebody else about it, then it just hurts, bro. So you got to find those people that are solid. And if you don't have those people, my DMs are open, bro. Underwaterflyzone.podcast. I ain't telling anybody anything. I've been hit up by a lot of people, and you would never know who. So
I don't even know any.
Yeah, literally. I keep it solid. So you gotta express, but it said combat unsettling emotions that won't go away. So if you express and it won't go away,
I mean, that's how kind of it is for me with the Kyle, because like some parts of Kyle are still with me that still bother me. So I feel like there's some parts that really won't go away, but I feel like the sooner you do express it, the more of it will be gone.
What hasn't gone away for you?
Every time I hear the song Congratulations, that's still rough. Every time I look up the bracelet, I still have like on my review mirror in my car.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes it'll bother me more, sometimes it really doesn't.
That's true.
It's just because I did compress it for too long. It's just always gonna bother me for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, and it will get to goes through different stages. It's like sometimes I'm really down about it. Sometimes I see it and I'm really motivated by it.
Yeah.
But it's never nothing, It's it's something. You're going to feel something. But yeah, I agree with that. Congratulations was Kyle's walk-up song, and I made a bunch of tribute videos after he died, and I put it in all of them. And so yeah, anytime we hear Congratulations by Post Malone, bro.
Still get goosebumps.
Yeah, dude, oh my goodness. I was teaching one day, and one of my students like turned it on when I was student teaching, and I was just like, keep it together. Keep it together. Like, oh man, that happens a lot though. Like, you'll hear it at a time when you really wish you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, why right now, bro? It's like it was at the Chiefs parade too. They're playing Congratulations, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to be hype right now. Why are we playing this? But to everybody else, it's just a classic.
Yeah.
To us, it's like the saddest song ever.
Mm-hmm. That was a really good question, though. That's a hard one.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say one more thing with it. If it won't go away, and honestly, this is just to anybody in general, finding God is what absolutely has given me peace with all of this. Like, I'm not kidding you. When me and Macy met, that was before I really took my relationship with God seriously. My relationship with God was knowledge up here, but it had nothing to do with my heart. Like, I didn't understand that God wanted a relationship with us. I didn't understand that God was, really living and really making moves in our life. And a lot of you may not even understand that either. And maybe you don't believe in God because of things that you can't understand up here. But let me tell you, there's things I can't understand up here. There's things Macy can't understand in your brain. It's not about your brain, bro. It's about your heart. And once I literally gave my heart to God, all of these depressed thoughts, all of this unsettling, horrible feelings that I had, they all went away, bro. Like, God completely has saved me from all of it. So if you do have a unsettling emotion that just won't go away, try giving your life to God, bro. And I'm sorry if you just can't get over some of the horrible things that have happened in a church type of thing. That's rough. That's a hard thing to get over. If you have had bad experiences with Christians, there's a lot of Christians out there that do a very poor job of showing God's love. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is not God, though. Like, that pastor that did that horrible thing is not God. That Christian that said some messed up stuff to you is not God. Find your relationship with Him, and He will change your heart. And I might not be able to tell you all the answers that will convince you mentally that God is real, but I can tell you that my heart was broken and He made it whole again, bro. So straight up, that's the answer to that question, by the way. Please, all caps, please talk about the stereotypes about people attempting suicide for attention. Well,
I feel like I've seen stuff like that on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, there are probably people like that. I don't know.
Well, okay, it can definitely, there definitely are times where a suicide attempt could be a cry for, like, I don't want to say attention, but a cry for help. Let's call it that. It's not like, oh, look at me. It's like, I'm struggling and I need help. And I'm not really trying to die, but, like, hopefully this will make you guys think I'm more serious, Like, when I say I need help, That's what I think it more is. I think some people consider it a cry for attention and, like, a way of, like, getting clout. It's not a way of getting clout. It's a way of showing people, like, bro, I need help. Take me seriously. It's a cry for help. And that doesn't validate it at all, though. Like, you don't ever get anywhere near that, please. Like, understand this. A lot of people attempt suicide and complete suicide because they feel like they're at their rock bottom. But you guys all need to understand that if you're at your rock bottom, don't be crying. Don't be having a frown. Once you hit your rock bottom, it's time to smile. Because the only way you can go from the bottom is up, bro. That was me one day. I was golfing in like third block in high school. It was like rec activities or something. And it was after Lance had died. And I was just like, bro, this is the worst it can get. I've known 2 people to go through suicide. The whole community is grieving. This is rock bottom, bro. This is literal rock bottom. And I was like, that's a good thing, right? Can't get any worse than this. It's only going up from here. Like, any bad thing can happen now, and I'm not going to feel more sad than I do right now. So the only way I can go from here is up. So listen, y'all, do not ever, ever think of committing suicide when you're at the bottom. Just smile and be like, bro, I'm going up. We're going up now. It's time. We can't go anywhere else. So yeah, I don't know.
I actually agree with that. That's crazy though, because I did used to think that, like, younger when I was in high school. It's like, these people, like, it's gotta be just for attention. But then I feel like the people that do it, like, even if it is for attention, they are still bad. Like, they need help. People that are doing good in their life, like, they would not post that,
Yeah, literally.
So if even it doesn't happen, I feel like it switches my mindset. Maybe I should talk to them,
Oh, for sure, bro. That's why we gotta spread love, bro. You do not know what people are going through, and yeah, I don't know, dude. Attempting suicide for attention, I don't think that's I don't think anyone just does that for attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I really don't.
No one just does that for fun. Like, I'm gonna do this, and people are gonna know. No, bro. Like that. It always stems from. If you ever have a thought of suicide, you are in a spot where you need help. Like, if it ever crosses your mind that I should do this for attention, you need help, bro. So anyone that attempts suicide for attention needs help. They're not doing it just for attention, and we gotta understand that, bro. And we gotta love these people, like, for real. That's why we gotta spread love to everybody. That's the whole meaning of this new shirt drop. Refuse to be enemies. You don't know what people are going through, bro. Like, we gotta come together and refuse to be enemies. We gotta love now more than ever, because if you look at the suicide rates, if you look at the division that's happening in the world, if you look at the hatred that you see every time you open Instagram, we need to refuse to be enemies and come together and love now more than ever. Our world needs it now more than ever. So that was a random rant. I didn't even know that was coming. Anyways, we got two more. We didn't get a ton of questions on this. This is your question. So did we already answer it? We did already answer it.
I don't know. I think
it was
so.
how to help someone with the type of grief never gone through it yourself. Genetic influence of suicide. You know what that means?
Repeat.
Yeah, like your dad had suicidal thoughts, so now you do just by genetics. Like, that's a thing, bro. And I would say this, like, if you're out there and you've always struggled with suicidal thoughts, when you have kids someday, or if you have kids, keep an eye out. And I'll tell you this, from a young age, and I think a lot of people can relate with this because I've talked to people about this before. And I told you I was going to open up about this someday, so here we're going right now. I have always, even when I was in like 6th grade, I had always had random suicidal thoughts. Like, if I, had a bad day at school or something, I'd be like, I could just kill myself right now, and it would all be over. I would never have a bad day again. And I'd be like, no, that's stupid. What am I thinking? Like, and I just push it away. But you'd have like these random, we call intrusive thoughts. Really, that's the devil speaking to you, and you got to understand that, and you got to flee from that, because, it is such a lie, bro. And obviously, I would never actually physically do that, but I would always get these random thoughts. Jack, I've never talked to you about that. Did you ever have that? Because a lot of people out there have, and I feel like talking about it makes it not seem so weird. Because, bro, I thought I was so weird for having these thoughts, but then I talked to one of my friends about it, and he was like, bro, I do too. Like, and I was like, oh, this is just a thing. Like, the devil really tries to get in our head and tell us, you'll never have a bad day again. Just commit suicide. No, bro, that is anyone with a brain knows that's not a smart. What do you guys say about that? Have you ever had that? Or you could say no, bro. I'm not.
Nah, I definitely have had those thoughts before where, like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what if I just killed myself right now? Would it put other people in a better situation, or would it make them, like, grieve?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought about that a lot. Like, if I were to kill myself, would I help other people out, or would I just, like, make it worse? When I was young, I can't recall really having any of those, like things in my head, but, like, there'd be sometimes I'd be like, what if I'm just walking down the street and I just get hit by a car? But, like, it wouldn't be like more like, it wouldn't be any, like, really suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
But, like, when Kyle passed away, that's when I started having, like, random suicidal thoughts pop in my brain. I was like, maybe I should just go join Kyle. Maybe I should just go see him. Like, I would just have, like, random thoughts like that in my head sometimes.
Dude, it's so crazy, bro.
It is, and it sucks, and it does make you sad, but, like, you just have to realize that it is the devil talking, and
yeah, bro.
It's there's nothing good out of that situation,
dude. And it's the devil when it's something so stupid, bro. Like,
yeah.
My cure for not having another bad day is to do that. Like, that makes no sense. Like, the cure is to accept that we're living here on the world. We're in a broken world. You're gonna have bad days. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you deal with it, bro. Like, have a strong mindset, not some. Like, that's such a horrible thing to think. So obviously it's not true. It's a lie from the enemy. It's the same lie that you get told. I've talked about people with this too, and I've said it at my shows too. When you're driving down the highway and you get that random voice like, what if I just, like, skirt into the ditch for no reason? We get those random stupid thoughts. Or the thought when you're at Walmart, I said this at the show too, you're at Walmart and some dude walks by, and in your head you're like, what if I just knock this dude out right now? For no reason, you get these stupid thoughts. The thought of, I should kill myself right now, it's the same source. These are all stupid lies from the devil, and y'all need to acknowledge that they're not you. Because sometimes we think, why did I just think that? You didn't, bro. That was a communication from the evil spirits, bro, like, straight up. that was not you. So don't think it's you. Don't think you're weird either, because we all through, at least I know me and Jack.
I like talking about this stuff because I know that there's another realm that we can't see, and it's obviously of the spirits and stuff. There's like how many realms? I don't know how many, but
I don't know.
There's a realm that we can see. And then like obviously the one that we can't see is the angels, demons, all that stuff. So I definitely don't know. I mean, it could maybe be genetics, but I just feel like once you're born into this world, like you're gonna have demons like
That's
fighting
true.
you, like literally since you're a baby. And it might be stronger knowing like your past, maybe if your parents have gone through that or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had so many thoughts back then when I was younger, and like middle school, especially when I had really bad anxiety. Just like how easy it could be to not be here anymore. And
Yeah.
even at times, like when I'm driving, I think like, dude, it would be so easy to like get in a wreck, which is
Yeah.
horrible. But like, I mean, nobody doesn't have those thoughts,
Yeah.
like those sick thoughts. And that's how you got to know, like, that's not you. That's the enemy trying to get inside of your mind.
Exactly.
And you're not alone. Like we all, even me, I've not gone through anything like as horrible as you guys have, and I still have those thoughts at times, and it's just living in a broken world. It's definitely hard knowing that you can't see and tell what's coming from and that stuff, but I just feel like I know one day that we will know, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I could even open it more, but I don't really want to.
Yeah, we can do it a different time. We can do it a different time. But yeah, just please never act on one of those random thoughts. Never act on it, ever. Like, this is the reason we have school shootings. This is the reason that you see every time you turn on the TV, there's a new murder. There's a new horrible thing that happened. It's because people give in to that thought. They think it's them. It's a lie, bro. Don't believe it. Don't ever act on something like that. And I feel like it's important that we talk about this. Like, I'm probably going to make a bunch of reels about this from this part of this podcast, because people need to know you cannot act on the thoughts and the lies of the devil. You cannot act on the lies of the devil, bro. Because, dude, also, when you act on it, you're going to have a horrible outcome. If you commit suicide, you do it, I guarantee you, instantly you're going to regret it. You do it, you're instantly going to regret it. You punch some dude at Walmart, instantly going to regret it. You just hit a dude for no reason. Drive your car into the ditch, you got to get a new car if you survive. Like, these thoughts, or even just any of the other little tiny thoughts, like, you instantly regret every time. Just don't give into it, bro. It's not even you. And we could get into that we got to make a whole episode over this. It's so important, dude.
Okay.
You want to keep going?
Well, I don't care. It's up to you.
Do you want to know an African teaching that I recently learned?
What?
This dude, I saw this podcast. He was like, so there's a realm we can see right here, you know, us, people. You hear my voice, you hear my words, you see us. We all see this realm. And then there's the ocean. There's the layer of water. It plays in with the underwater FlyZone, actually. There's the layer of water, and there's a whole nother world under the water that we can't see. But we know it's there. We just can't see it. And it goes so deep that we can't even study it. Like, there's so many unknown creatures in the ocean. Even these smart scientists don't even know what these creatures are. There's a whole nother realm on this planet that we can't see. We know it's there, though. And then there's another realm, and it's the realm of God and the devil. And they're both fighting for your soul, my soul. It's crazy how special our souls are, because the spirit, the God of the universe, and the most evil spirit, the devil, are fighting every second of every day for your soul. You're valuable, bro. You are very valuable. Like, the God and the devil are constantly battling for your soul. If that doesn't show you how valuable you are and how much you matter, I don't know what does. But we can't see all these creatures under the ocean, right? We know they're there. We just can't see them. So why do we act like God and the devil aren't real when we see it every day? We see all these acts of violence down in KC, or not even down in KC. We see it right here. Someone just got beat up at Walmart like 2 nights ago for no reason. Like, we see all these horrible things happen every single day. We see the division. We see the acts of pure evil every day. And then we also see the acts of pure good every day. We see great things happening too. Let's not act like everything's bad. You know, we got people going to teach crazy kids for barely any money just because they care. You know, these are acts of pure good. You know what I'm saying? And we act like God and the devil don't exist. Like, we know it exists. We see it every single day, but we want to act like it doesn't exist. Like, I don't know. That's like acting like those sea creatures don't exist to me. It's like, we know they're there, bro. We could go catch one if we had like a crazy long fishing pole.
Yeah.
But we act like God and the devil don't. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me, you know?
I could literally go so much into stuff like that.
Do it. I'll change the battery, then we can.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so like I was saying, guys.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Continue.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Well, I was saying that to me, it is like air, you know? Like, we literally know it's there, but we can't see it, but we can breathe it. And it's like the wind. You can't see the wind, but you can feel it. It's just like God, like God's presence, and obviously the enemy too. But, yeah, I just am so passionate about that because it's just crazy. We need to definitely know God's truth and what God says, and then what the enemy says, because God's voice will give you peace, comfort, love, security, and the enemy's voice will give you hate, insecurity, confusion, anxiety, all of the bad stuff. And that's why we need to make sure that we know the truth, because it's true that when God says the truth will set you free. And what you said about like how the enemy and God they're both going like at your soul every day, that should make you feel just know how special you are.
Exactly.
To not even want to think, what would life be like without me, you know?
Mm-hmm. For sure. And this all plays back into basically the generational curse thing about, you know, if your parents had suicidal thoughts and now you have suicidal thoughts, God comes in and breaks those curses, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he really does, because my dad, when he was a kid, he had multiple of his friends commit suicide. And I know that probably made him depressed and get down on himself, and probably made him have some suicidal thoughts. But I've never had any suicidal thoughts until I went through Kyle. So I feel like God, you really can break that.
Yeah, for sure, bro. This has been so good, dude. I really like this. I like this dynamic. We got my fiance, and then we got my unofficial little brother. He basically is my little brother.
I've known him since I popped out.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that.
No, it's true. It's true. But yeah, we're probably gonna end this here soon. But is there any last things y'all want to say? I got something too. I just want to say, just like we always say, it's on the back of the shirt. Your life is worth living, bro. No matter what happens, no matter how bad things get, that statement will always remain true. Your life is worth living. The worse things get today, the better they're going to be in the future. Life comes in waves. So whenever it's low tide, whenever things aren't as good, just remember, life comes in waves, baby. Don't give up. Your life is worth living. Stay around for the rebuild. It may feel like everything's broken right now. It may feel like a storm just came through and completely destroyed your whole life. Stick around for the rebuild, bro, because it's coming. And the rebuild's going to be even better than anything you ever experienced. Because guess what? Pain is progress. The more pain you go through today, the stronger you become tomorrow. So guess what? When you go through that storm, you don't realize it, and it hurts at the time, but you are growing so much. You're becoming so strong mentally. You are becoming so strong. So stick around for the rebuild, bro, because once it comes, it was good for me, bro. I remember how low I was. It's crazy how depressed I once was, how broken I once was, and it's crazy how I am right now. Like, oh, that thing just died. Oh no! All right, we'll just end on a black screen. I hope that caught that last second.
It did.
I was vibing. All right, you guys will be off camera because I don't want to even worry about it. What's your final thing you want to say?
I want to say to make sure that you check on your friends, and also just, I guess, know that life is but a speck of dust. Like, we're here for that much.
Yep.
So I just think that the stuff that we go it's just, I'm coming at this like not going through what you guys have gone through, but for me, I just think live your life as much as you can, because you're going to be, I mean, I pray 85 years old and just think, where did the time go? Like,
Yeah,
why did I
exactly.
ever spend these years, the best years of my life, anxious, depressed, down, overthinking,
That's
worried
so
about
true.
what the world,
That's so true.
thinks of me.
Dang, I wish the camera was on. That was great. Great way to end it, Macy. Good job. And she didn't even know she was going to be on this episode. So good job, Macy. Jack, what do you guys say?
Like Foster said, your life is worth living. Every second of it is worth living. And also, I've been there. I've been down and depressed. I compressed my feelings. I was too scared to reach out to people and express to make myself feel better. Trust me, if you're feeling down, reach out to someone, please. It will make you feel a lot better. I know you may seem like I already said this. You may feel like you're weak. I promise you, you're not weak. Just please reach out to that person. They will really help you. I promise it will help. Those words those people will say back to you will really help, because it helped me a lot.
Yeah, and even just the fact of getting it off your chest helps so much.
Yeah, so much.
It's crazy how, like, when you're talking to somebody and once you, like, open up and share it, you almost feel like, I don't even need them to respond. I already feel better. Like, do you ever feel like
Yeah.
that? Yeah, bro. Dang, I wish the camera was on. We're going to have to do a part 2.
Yeah, we will.
Just us 3, that'd be crazy. Maybe Connor could come back in.
Gosh, that would.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we're going to do it soon. We should do it real soon.
Okay,
Like, maybe, like, this weekend.
bruh.
I don't know. Jack's down.
Thumbs up.
Okay, we'll see.
All right. Hey, love you guys. Thanks for listening. But yeah, stick around for this part 2, because how we ended is how we'll begin. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. Peace out. Love you guys.
Sure. Ski eat.
Yep. Like, subscribe, and freaking buy the merch. Peace.